Dear brothers and sisters, now we are in the first week or first Sunday of Lent. From these three readings that we just heard, for me, in my reflection, I try to enter in this reading and I try to share to you what this reading wants to tell us. About temptation. In the first reading and also in the Gospel. Temptation. Temptation comes to every one of us. A temptation is a trick, a deception, a lie. It conceals the truth and presents falsehood to us as a truth. When we remember in the first reading, when God said to Adam, He said, "You may freely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall die." And the Satan said to the woman, "Did God say you shall not eat from any tree in the garden?" Satan changed the sentence of God. A temptation tries to convince us with a false charm, but is not there to help us pick up the pieces and deal with guilt afterwards. A temptation conceals from us the true road to peace and joy and happiness, giving us instead the illusion of a quick and easy way to find what is really good and worthwhile in life. A temptation is therefore sneaky, offering us what appears to be a quick fix, but is in reality quick disaster. My dear brothers and sisters, is there anything more deceptive and sneaky and two-faced than temptation? No wonder that temptation comes from the devil, whom Jesus called the father of lies. When temptation comes to us, we have a choice. Either to follow them like Adam and Eve in our first reading, or to overcome them like Jesus. So we have a choice. You can come here, or you don't to come. You don't have to come. Your choice. After the sin of Adam and Eve, everything was totally changed. The way humans related to each other and to God was now damaged. For the first time, Genesis tells us they realized they were naked and had to wear clothes. Before, no. Like we are all here with the clothes. In other words, lust had not crept into humanity, destroying the beauty of perfect relationship. So, this temptation can change many things if we choose to follow that. Instead of allowing ourselves to get into this mess, we have the example of Jesus in the gospel today. So now we try to enter what Jesus did in the gospel today. He suffered real temptation. The letter to the Hebrews reminds us that he was tempted in every way that we are, but he did not sin. Jesus was tempted to prove that he was the Son of God, but by misusing his divine power. Satan said to Jesus, "If you are the Son of God, command these stones to become loaves of bread." If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will give His angels charge of you. During the third temptation, Jesus was tempted to totally change his Father's plan. "All this I will give you if you will fall down and worship me." Just as we are sometimes tempted to totally change God's plan for us as his sons and daughters. The readings today reminds us that we are all the sons and daughters of God by our baptism. And Jesus overcame the temptation not just in the desert, but temptation he experienced at any time. The temptation from Peter not to suffer his passion, and the temptation in Gethsemane not to face this passion, many. So we can learn from this life of Jesus how he faced the temptation. Of course, we can say, we are not Jesus. We are human beings. We are weak. My dear brothers and sisters, we are weak, but we are the sons of God. We are the daughters of God. We have something different. We have the Spirit of God in our life. Jesus healed the relationship between us and God, which had been broken by the sin of Adam and Eve. Jesus is the new Adam, who put right the sin of the first Adam, just as Mary is the new Eve cooperating in God's plan to save us, unlike the first Eve who changed God's plan. As in the second reading we heard, then as one man's trespass led to condemnation for all men, so one man's act of righteousness leads to acquittal and life for all men. For as by one man's disobedience many were made sinners, so by one man's obedience many will be made righteous. So this is about the obedience. We chose to follow Jesus. It means we have to be a real follower, and we obey what God's will to us. We have begun the season of Lent. Our model during Lent is Jesus, not anyone else. Our model during Lent is Jesus in the desert overcoming temptation. We make many sacrifices and acts of self-denial during Lent, and we fast. We want to pray more during Lent and donate from our surplus to help the poor. The three things: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. All of these things that we do during Lent are an expression of something inside ourselves. Not because we have to, but this is because I love God and I will do this from my love to Him. Dear brothers and sisters, Lent means give up sin by overcoming temptation. In other words, what we really want to give up during Lent is sin. We want to give up sin because it destroys us and only drags us down and hurt our relationship with each other and God. We see in our world today, people fight each other in the family, in the community, in the country. This is the reality that we face today. We want to give up sin during Lent because we do not want to be deceived, and lied to by temptation anymore. We want to give up sin during Lent because temptation conceals from us the true road to wholeness and integrity, giving us instead the illusion of a quick and easy way to find what is really good and worthwhile in life. Dear brothers and sisters, we want to give up sin during Lent because we know that following a temptation into sin is irrational and has no sense. Above all, we want to give up sin during Lent because we love Jesus, and when we give in to temptation and sin, we hurt Jesus. So once more, this is not because of the church tell us, but because we in our life, in our experiences, we experience God's love for us. The problem now, not many people want to open their eyes to see the real love of God, the real presence of God in our life. So, little by little, we go far from this real love that God Himself in the person of Jesus Christ. Every time we sin, we are the soldiers scourging Jesus at the pillar during His passion. Every time we sin, we are giving a slap to Jesus. Every time we sin, we put a crown of thorns on Jesus. Because we love Jesus, we too want to overcome temptation and sin during the desert of Lent. By dying to sin during Lent, may we rise to new life with Jesus at Easter. Not only in this moment, every day, every time we try. And we ask God's help to accompany us so we can enter to the mercy of God, to the love of God, and our relationship, each other, and especially to God, become good, and every time become for us the real place of our life. Let us together now we profess our faith.